name's Rebecca Morrissey, and I'm honored to be the new principal here at Topeka High. And although I knew I'm not new, because I was here in 9 and 10, so none of these students remember me. But it is a pleasure to be back. I am very honored that you're spending your evening with us, but it's wonderful to see so many people here. And I do want to introduce Candy. She is going to interpret for us this evening. I'll let you welcome everybody. And not only is it my honor to welcome you this evening on behalf of our administration and our counseling department, but also on behalf of Dr. Tiffany Anderson, our new superintendent. And she was very disappointed because she had multiple things on her agenda this evening, and she said, my worst fear is that because I'm able to make the first senior nights at the other two schools, I don't want T-High to feel like I don't care about them. I said, well, since you introduced yourself at T-High and we're on the news from T-High, we'll forgive you this one. And she said some words I'd like to share on her behalf. If I get to the right part. She says normally she would be in attendance. She's been at the other senior nights. However, she is presenting this evening at the National Federal Reserve Bank Conference in Philadelphia, where she is gaining support to assist with some of our college initiatives. On her behalf, the following new initiatives are underway to increase the number of students graduating and moving into college. In her last district, over 90% graduated and were placed in post-secondary programs, and she has the same vision for Topeka Public Schools. Some of the updates here include she has college trips scheduled monthly within our schools, first semester for seniors. She is working on career exploration, honors classes, and internships and expanding those programs. She wants to have community e-news, and she has started this year to try to update not only our website, but she wants to devote a great deal of that media to college and career readiness, and that should be out in October. And she says, please make sure you sign up for ParentLink in PowerSchool, and if you do have your updated email addresses in there, we are able to, through ParentLink, send you, and many of you probably got it, I've been pushing out emails as often as I can. We are also able to send text alerts, and I can even do a voice message to your phones, which we did last spring. We tried that. This year so far, I've pretty much just dealt with the email to try to get information out to you. So hopefully you got that yesterday, and if you did, you are signed up. In addition to counselor resources being posted on our school websites, they're also going to be posted on the main district site under resources when you go to the new website. We are very excited to provide the added support this year, and she is very, very happy to be part of Topeka Public Schools. So I'm welcoming you on her behalf as well.
Ella es nuestra directora nueva que tenemos aquí en la escuela. Su nombre es Miss Morrissey, aunque no es nueva para la escuela porque ya ha trabajado aquí antes, pero nos estaba leyendo ahorita un pedacito de la que es superintendente. Es la superintendente, doctora Tiffany Anderson, y nos manda el pesar de que no pudo estar aquí porque tiene otros compromisos el día de hoy, y ella ha estado en cada mes, va a paseos con otras escuelas, y allí va a estar ella aquí ayudando a nuestros alumnos, y necesitamos ayuda, ella siempre está allí para ayudarnos. Brevemente lo que dijo. Van a estar dando información sobre sus alumnos que están en grado 12 esta noche. Si necesitan que repete, yo les puedo levantar la mano y puedo sentarme a un lado de ustedes. Okay.
Thank you. You're on a wonderful journey this year. I've raised 3 children. Thank goodness they are all through college and out of my pocketbook. But the senior year is a very, very special time, and a lot of work, a lot of apprehension, and certainly a little bit of sadness and happiness at the same time. So enjoy the journey, and we'll get you started this evening with what you came to hear. I'd like to introduce my administrative team. Mr. Rob Hayes is our associate principal. Mr. Hayes and I are helping with discipline this year and working with students. I am working with seniors. He is working with juniors. And then we have 3 assistant principals, and they are not here with us this evening, I do not believe, but Paula Riley works with sophomores, Dot Mallon and Rodney Johnson both work with our freshmen split the alphabet. In addition, we have all of our counselors here this evening. Pat Bordewick, where's Pat? Pat Bordewick is our head counselor, and she has A through D. Angela Locke right here works with students with last names E through K. Autumn Lyon is new to us this year, and Autumn has the funny little split from L to R-I. I had the R-O through Z when I was here before. And then R-O through Z is Kayla Monshaw. And Kayla's here, she's the reason I had to pick up the microphone. And in addition, we have 2 social counselors that work with students by alphabet as well. Deb Fallon at the back, and Greg Fallon, and yes, they are married. And Deb just joined us this year. We have a fabulous staff, and I will turn the program over to them. Again, welcome this evening, and so glad you're here.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Pat Warwick, counselor for the students A through D. And I'm sorry, I was out in the hall. Can you guys hear me in the back? I feel like I'm shouting here. Can you hear me okay? All right, thank you. And so sorry, note to self for next year, we'll make these little packets in advance. You never know how much to print, you don't want to overdo, whatever. So I'm sorry that there was kind of a line waiting on the packet of materials. For this evening, we want to give you as much information as you can handle for your senior. It will be kind of overwhelming, but luckily we have the Topeka High Counseling Center website where all this information is in just one little location. So once we show you where it's at, and you get home, you go, hey, what about? You can just click on there and find it. So please bear with us. It'll be a lot of information coming at you. If you have questions at the time, just raise your hand. I was telling my students today I was doing a presentation in the junior English class first thing this morning, and I told them I was having, if you remember the book, Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day, I was having that start this morning. I said, if I'm saying things that do not make sense, please ask again, because I have no idea. But the day went uphill from there, and so, but again, here I am kind of frantic getting up here. So if I say things, you go, no idea. Raise your hand, I'll try to say it a little clearer for you. So we're going to start the presentation. We have a slideshow. We're going to kind of go from the slideshow over to our Counseling Center webpage, so it can be a flat back and forth. Ms. Bonshaw has no idea what I'm saying. I might not even know what I'm saying. So bear with us as we try to coordinate what's going on up on the screen. Of course, my back is to it, so I have no idea what's going to be up there. But here we go. And thank you so much for being patient with us getting started for a few minutes late. I'm that person who likes to get there right at 6:30 and let's go. So we do apologize very much for that, because I know you have a million things to do yet today. So here we go. I'm going to talk about graduation requirements. If your student or you want to see exactly what it takes to get out of school here at Topeka High, if you'll go to the website and click on Senior, then if you go into Kansas Board of Regents, on the first column is exactly what it takes to get out of Topeka High, which is great. But the next column, if you're thinking, oh, maybe I want to go to college, K-State, KU, Emporia, that's a different set. You have to do a little bit more to make that happen. And your kids and us have been talking about that for years, so they kind of know. But qualified admissions is listed there. And that would be like K-State, KU, Emporia, Wichita, Fort Hays, and Pitt State. And so those are the qualifications to be into those schools, all right? It's already listed up there for you on that. And then over to the next one is the Kansas Honors Scholar. So if you have any questions about being a Kansas Honors Scholar, that information is also listed right there for your student. So let's just talk for a couple minutes about the Kansas Board of Regents. It's for schools, the four-year schools. Now, it's not only those classes, that's called the pre-college curriculum, and your student needs to have taken that, plus have a 21 on their ACT or be in the top one-third of their class to be admitted to those schools. Now, 10% of the students they admit do not have to meet that requirement. But one thing I try to help the students understand, the top one-third, that means 2/3 are not in the top one-third. Like sometimes they're like, oh, well, that's not a problem. The top one-third or 21 on their ACT. And last year we did junior reviews, and if the student indicated any interest in college, we gave them the ACT information. So hopefully they have taken that. If not, we'll be doing senior reviews starting soon. We'll put that information right back in their hands so they can take that ACT and see how they're doing on that. The one thing, that would be like the big schools in Kansas, but some kids are saying, well, I don't know about that. Community college is open to any student. A high school diploma, ACT score, you can get into any community college, okay? So if your kids are looking at that and saying, wow, I don't know, maybe too late, maybe I didn't take exactly what I needed to, you can start at community college and then transfer to a four-year if they're interested in that. Schools like Baker and Washburn, They don't have qualified admissions, but they want a strong academic student. I know Washburn says if your student is not a strong academic student and we're worried about their success, sometimes they'll say, why don't you try VOTEC first and then transfer over here? Okay, but here's what I talk to kids a lot about too is back in the day, like my day, I wouldn't say I was using a rotary phone, but close. I think when I was a little kid, we did have rotary phones. But you'd have to call K-State and say, hey, can you send me some information? And they would. It was like a long, drawn-out thing. But kids nowadays have Chromebook. They have access right there at their fingertips to any information they need. So all they have to do is type in a school and say, what does it take to be admitted? What kind of ACT? Do I have the right courses? If I wanted to go out of state, what does that mean? All of that is right there for them. And when I was talking to the junior students, I'm encouraging them to go home and start the conversation. You guys start the conversation. Explore, check out things. All these colleges have senior days in the fall. So if you just go check on a college if you're interested in college and say, what about senior days? And they have all kinds of dates set aside for your student on that. Okay? Let's see what else I'm forgetting here. One thing.
Brevemente, esa es información que podemos agarrar en la computadora de la website de la escuela. Podemos ir a ver dónde están las calificaciones que se requiere para el colegio. Si nuestros hijos están listos para ir al colegio o si no están preparados, que no tengan un alta GPA calificación, puede ir a un colegio vocacional y luego transferirse al colegio de 4 años. No necesitan que irse directamente al colegio. Pueden comenzar una vocacional y luego subir a un colegio donde pueden agarrar más estudios. Es lo que nos está diciendo ella. Y allí también está donde pueden estar agarrando clases ahorita que están en la preparatoria para ir al colegio y entrar. Allí van a tener información. Si esto está muy rápido para ustedes, pueden ir para atrás de la casa y la información está en la website de la escuela. ¿Ok?
Okay, and since I wasn't here for instructions, I don't know if that's Miss Candy. Hopefully they introduced her. I'm not sure if they did. One thing I did want to point out that everything related to education after high school is paperless. That's hard for some of us, but it's paperless. You have to go online and register for the ACT. You have to go online and fill out an application for college admission, for any kind of thing like that in FAFSA form. All of that is paperless. So it's kind of a new world for some of us. Everything is on, we're used to doing it on paper, but it's paperless. Okay, the Kansas Scholars Curriculum, I don't know if that's still pulled up there, but what that is saying is students who finished the curriculum that they're asking you for, and again, that's a little bit different than what it takes to get out of high school. It's a potential chance for scholarships, but it is need-based funding. And you have to be very high in your grade point average in ACT. We have students who get a certificate saying, hey, great, you're a state scholar, but the money is attached based on need, and those people receiving a certificate and maybe scholarship money would be 31 ACT at 3.9 grade point average. So a lot of people are thinking about Kansas Scholar, but it's a pretty steep part to get any money, and it has to be need-based. All right, I wrote a little thing down here. I don't know if any of your students are interested in NCAA to go play sports in college. That's a whole nother game. It's like high school graduation, college admission. What does it take to play sports in college? It's kind of a three-prong, and we have to sit down and kind of see how we can make all of that come together in a schedule. So if your student is thinking about that, they'd have to get registered with the NCAA Eligibility Center, and we'd have to work on their courses, make sure they have the right courses, things like that. So I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't think that's up there.
Nope.
Okay, the next thing I'm supposed to talk about is senior review. Last year in the spring, we did junior review, and right before enrollment. So we did junior review, then we enrolled for this year, and we sent that home, and we talked to the kiddos about what are you thinking about the future, that same exploring speech. Here's an ACT packet if you need it. WIC comes on Thursdays, that kind of thing. And we mailed that home. The kids had a copy, we mailed one home. So hopefully you got that. Now, just next week, we're starting senior review. We'll sit down with each of your students again and say, here's exactly what you have left to graduate. Have we taken that ACT? If not, here's the packet. Or you want to see the lady from WIC? You want to take the ASVAB for the military? We'll do all of that. We'll start again next week. So we'll sit down with each student one-on-one, and then we'll mail that home. So you'll have no question about what's left to get through this year. Then, as we come to January, we finish first semester. We send what's called Form A. I don't know who makes these names up, but Form A comes home, and that's like, okay, we finished first semester. This is exactly what we have left for second semester. Some of those kiddos kind of start thinking about second semester. You need to know what they need to graduate. And it'd be great if you could help us make sure we're on track with that. And then the last month of school, we have what's called Might Fail, and the teacher lets us know if they have any students who might fail a class they need for graduation, and we'll be calling you. We'll be talking to that student every Friday before graduation for a full month to make sure we can make all that happen. Alrighty. One thing I did want to go back and talk about is a transcript. If your student needs a transcript, you can email us, or you can have the student come by and see us, and we would send out any transcript anywhere that they need. All right. So that's kind of the things I'm talking about. We have a whole bunch more, but we very much welcome that you're here and glad that you came tonight. Thank you. And this is Miss Locke. She'll be the next speaker.
Brevemente, lo que está diciendo del transcript es el papel donde dice qué clases han tomado nuestros hijos, cuáles son las calificaciones y cuáles son las clases que están tomando ahorita. Después van a estar tomando cuáles son las clases que necesitan ellos requeridas para que salgan de 12, porque no nomás pueden tomar la clase de inglés y historia, tienen que tomar 4 años o 5 años de cada una para que tengan todo apropiadamente. Si su hijo quiere hacer algo de deportes en el colegio, hay un paquete aparte que tiene que tomar. Si quiere hacer cosas de enfermería, si quieren ir como militar, cosas así, ahorita es cuando se tienen que preparar y tienen que llenar un paquete para que lo tengan listos todos. Si hay algunas preguntas después, se las contestamos.
Thank you. For our graduation ceremony, and I know some of you are thinking that's a long way off, but boy, it's going to come fast. So just a few things, just a few reminders for you. Get to graduate on May 20th, and this year Topeka High is first in the line for graduation, so we graduate in the morning at 10:30. And there will be a practice and some other dates coming up to get ready for that. I'm sure that the students will have to be there prior to 10:30. Usually it's about an hour and a half before graduation because we have a big lineup that has to occur in order for us to get ready for that. So a couple of things to also remember about graduation is in preparation for graduation, our students will be needing to buy a cap and gown, and there are also many, many other senior products available for your purchase through Herb Jones. On the senior review that Ms. Bordewick just spoke about, there's a web address for Herb Jones so that you can get in touch with them if you have questions, etc. Students have multiple opportunities to meet with Herb Jones. So if you have not met with them yet and you're panicked, oh my gosh, we missed it, there will be more opportunities for the students to meet with the representative from Herb Jones. We will not allow your student to walk out without a cap and gown. We'll get everybody situated eventually. There is a senior meeting in the spring, and that's a time when they can also do that. But when that senior review comes home, if you have questions, you can get a hold of them on your own. The cap and gown cost is $24. I don't want to dissuade anyone from anything, but there's a temptation because your baby's a senior that you want to buy them all the things, there's these packages and you want to buy them all, and they can get kind of expensive. Just know that the cap and gown and tassel is $24, and that's the absolute necessity that you need. The other things are entirely up to you whether you wish to purchase them or not. So it's all about how persuasive you are, students, whether you get that really cool leggy tassel or that extra senior, 2017 t-shirt. So there's lots of things out there for them to buy, but the cap, gown, tassel is the main thing. And I don't think this price is too bad for that. Attire for graduation, we really hope that our students, after having been students at Topeka High, understand that this ceremony is something that should be held in high regard. And so we would expect that our students would dress appropriately under their robe. And generally what we're going to see is their footwear, of course. So we would ask, as you see up here, that our men wear collared shirts, dress shoes, slacks, and women appropriate attire as well. Ladies, I'd like to remind you that there is some walking and some stairs involved in going up onto the graduation stage, and so you want to select your shoe wear accordingly. So those are some important things regarding the graduation ceremony. Want to let you know that sometime spring break-ish, around that time, there is a letter that will go out again to all of your homes that will give you some details and kind of a play-by-play breakdown of, okay, we're in the final stretch and here's all the things that we need to be getting prepared for. So multiple times you're going to be hearing from us about what needs to be done. But again, if you have a question, go to the website. I see a question in the back. Herf Jones is a company, like Jostens, I'm trying to think of other companies around. Herf Jones is who we have contracted with to provide all of our materials for graduation. I think we've had other companies in the past. It's a contractual situation, and that is who we have contracted with this year. And I will caution you on one thing. Sometimes people are like, ooh, we're at a garage sale, I see me a gold gown. I want to buy that gold gown because it's only $1. And we'll be ready for graduation. Unfortunately, there are probably 500 shades of gold. So it will probably be a different color of gold. So resist the temptation. Okay, and I see another question. All of this information is online.
Can you order it online?
Oh, can you order it online? Yes. Yes, you can. I believe the announcements also come from Herb Jones.
That was not on the flyer that they got home the other day.
It's not on the flyer. Okay, do you know anything about that, Mr. Hayes, or?
It was on the
Ms.
email that
Morrissey?
we got though.
It wasn't an email.
He is
that went out.
mailing information. We have a different one with the cap gown. But they're mailing information out. You should be getting letters from both of them, and they are here on a regular basis and meet with the seniors. So if for some reason you don't have that information in the next week or two, just contact the school and we'll make sure.
So do we have two different vendors?
The graduation day gown is through
Herb Jones?
and their announcements are through Balfour.
Okay, the announcements are through Balfour. So, and we'll try to get that link up. What we're trying to provide with this website is one-stop shopping so that you can go in there and fish around and find it. And if you can't, let one of us counselors know and we'll get it on there for you. So that, because somebody else has a question, if you have a question. What's next up?
She wants to interpret.
All right.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Balfour, B-A-L-F-O-U-R. And I'm sure if you just go, Google Balfour, it'll come up, and then usually you have to select where you're from, and then it'll take you to your school, and it shows you all that stuff online.
Tenían la información, el día de la graduación va a ser el 20 de mayo. A las 10 de la mañana va a ser en el Expo Center y por Herb Jones está para que ordenen la capa y el sombrerito que usa Herb Jones. Es amarillo, no tienen algo que voy a agarrarles del año pasado de amarillo porque hay diferentes amarillos. So, hay que ordenarlos, son solamente $24, pero también vienen a la hora del lonche, lo podemos ordenar. Nada más lo único que requiere, si quieren ustedes agarrarle el agua, menturi, cosas así, gorritos, esos adicionales totalmente, si ustedes les alcanza la plata y quieren regalarse a sus hijos. Eso es opcional. Y también tenían allí otra compañía, va a estar haciendo las invitaciones y van a estar mandándonos información por correo y en 2 semanas no sabemos de ellos, nos hablan y les daremos la información.
Okay, I'm Autumn Wyand, and I will talk to you a little bit about colleges that are coming to Topeka High, and there have already been some that have come, so maybe some of your seniors have actually taken advantage of the opportunity that is provided to them. Up here you can see that college recruiters are coming, and I am updating a web page, and it's pretty live. I usually have that updated every day if I am contacted by a college. I try to keep it pretty local because obviously KU, K-State, Emporia, Wichita, those are all pretty much the main colleges that our students are interested in. However, I'm throwing a couple in there as they come to me that may be of interest to our students. Students can either sign up by directly emailing me. If they email one of their counselors, that will also filter down to me. There is a notebook in the counseling center for them to sign up as well. Either way, if they want to visit a college, if they're not sure how to do that, just shoot us an email. One of us will get in contact with them. I think that's kind of the main thing that I had to offer with that. They should also be looking in morning announcements to make sure that they are catching what college is coming next. I'm trying to make sure that I'm only telling them what's coming the next week, because sometimes it gets distracting to know what's coming in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. So I'm trying to stay current with that. Any other questions, they can always ask me and I can look for the answer. Next is going to be Miss Locke. She's going to talk a little bit about tech school after.
Ahorita le va a pasar, ahorita les va a hablar de las escuelas técnicas. Los benches que miramos allí son de los colegios y escuelas vocacionales donde pueden visitar. Allí tienen día y la escuela y cuándo son las fechas que pueden ir a visitar. Si sus hijos van a visitar a los colegios para que agarren información, cómo es, cuánto cuesta, esos días que ellos están en el colegio no se cuesta como si tuvieran ausentes, se cuesta parte. No se cuenta la falta porque están haciendo cosas parte del colegio. Es una falta de excusa por medio de la escuela.
I just want to mention that if you need translation services about any of this information tonight, or you go on the website and you have more questions, if you will ask one of us, we'd be happy to set you up for a little bit more in-depth information with someone to interpret for you. So if you miss something, please just let us know, and we'll work on that with you. One of the things that I think that all of the counselors firmly believe as a philosophy is that college is great, and we want to get your kids there if that's where they want to go, but it's not the only option. And sometimes it's not even the best option. Our world is a different place than when most of us were going to school. I know when I was going to school, if you weren't going to college, you probably weren't going to get a very good job. There are data out there that suggests that you're going to have probably higher earning power if you go to college, but there are other options, and we certainly here will do all we can to direct students in the direction in which they want to go, depending on their talents, abilities, and their desires. We have some things listed up here. Some of our students, in fact, many of our students go to Washburn Tech while they're in high school because their tuition is paid while they're in high school. They do have to pay their own fees, but they have opportunities over there to take courses that I never dreamed would be available to a high school student. I'm like thinking of a couple off the top of my head. Last year, Washburn Tech added phlebotomy. I'm thinking, how cool would it be to be able to work my way through college as a phlebotomist? Because I imagine they get paid a pretty decent wage. Plus, you need phlebotomists 24/7. That's the people that come take your blood in hospital. So, they have that program. This year they added a cosmetology program. Wonderful for Topeka. Because we know who Washburn Tech is, we feel pretty confident that they're not going to take a lot of tuition money from our students and disappear. So we've got kids real excited about being able to have that cosmetology option. But you can go to the website for Washburn Tech. I think Ms. Bonshaw will take you there now. You can go there and you can look at all of the offerings that are there. And you may not have had time to fit it in your schedule as a senior, and you may wish to look at that as a post-secondary option. Even though tuition may not be free at that point, you can fill out the FAFSA, the pre-application for federal student aid, and you may be eligible for grants and money to go to school that would help you pay for your time at Washburn Tech as well. It's a fabulous option. It may be even an option for some of the adults in this room. It's a great place. So that's one option our students have, and they are using. This is some of the things that are offered at Washburn Tech, and you can get to this link from our page. We've tried to make it to where you can get just about anywhere from our page. Another option is we have students here. As you know, we have a very well-known ROTC program here. Certainly, we don't only serve students who are interested in the Marines, even though that our ROTC program here is Marine ROTC, but They have other options, and some of the students who are interested in military options, they'll be needing to do some things like take the ASVAB, and I think Ms. Bonshaw will talk about that later. But we'll work with students. Many of us are called upon by different military agencies to provide letters of recommendation, et cetera, for students who are looking at those options. And of course, we have many students who are already working or who are looking at working their way into a profession through an apprenticeship, through a union situation. Perhaps someone in their family is already working in a particular industry and that is their interest. So we are going to help students get from point A to point B, and it's not always going to be college, and that's okay. I think Ms. Fallon probably would like to expand a little bit more on how we handle getting our students connected with Washburn Tech.
Brevemente, lo que nos está diciendo ahorita la consejera, no todos somos material de colegio, podemos comenzar en una escuela técnica. Ahí tenemos la Greenfield, es un colegio técnico donde podemos empezar. Están otras opciones, está el Washburn Tech. Ahorita lo que tienen aquí en la escuela donde sacan sangre a las personas, análisis y cosas así, ¿verdad? Esa oportunidad lo tienen. Si están yendo aquí a la escuela pueden estudiar y es menos costoso que cuando se van al colegio y están pagando de su bolsilla. Pero siempre tomen en cuenta que está el FAFSA, les ayuda para pagar eso tanto en los alumnos como nosotros los padres también puede ser una opción para nosotros. Hay trabajos, pueden ir a cosas de militares si gustan, y están escuelas, trabajos que hay allá que los preparamos para que agarren su camino, prepararlos para el camino del trabajo que ellos quieren hacer, pero no todos somos material derechito al colegio. Se paga más, pero a veces tenemos que empezar con pasos más abajo para seguir adelante.
Yes, I did want to add a little bit more information about Washburn Tech. They will be having an open house on October 14th. That is a Friday that your students won't have school. It will be a great day from 8:30 to 2:30 that you can join your students. They can bring their friends, family, and go out and tour. The programs will be having demonstrations for you to look at. Great opportunity that day. They have a rep that comes to Washburn, to Topeka High every Thursday morning. She's there from 8:30 to about 11:30, so if your student is interested, they can come into the counseling center and sign up, and we'll call them in to visit with that rep. Yes.
Is that a come and go type thing on October the 14th?
Yes, you can go in, they'll be very welcoming, you can go in, it's not, you don't have to have an appointment
8:30 and 2:30.
anytime between 8:30 and 2:30. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. So, I think that's all I have. Oh, yeah. Also, that's not the only technical school in this state. There are a number. And each of those technical schools have programs that they offer that we don't offer in Topeka. And so, like, I believe it's the North Central that has wind energy that they focus on. And there are others that have, like, biotech programs. So just get online and look at Kansas Technical Schools and you should be able to pull that information up. Thanks again for being here.
Gracias por estar aquí. Dice que podemos checar también en los computadores donde hay escuelas técnicas para que aprendan información. No nomás hay una, dos, hay varias en el estado de Kansas y en otros lugares. Si están interesados, pueden venir con sus hijos. Y otra cosa, esto es un poco rápido para mí también y yo estoy segura que para ustedes. Si tienen preguntas, pongan una cita, podemos hablar con la consejera, hablar sobre el tema, qué colegio, qué técnicos están interesados para que tengan la información breve. Si necesitan que los entrepétanos, ahí va a estar Sandoval y yo.
Okay, next up is my little spiel about concurrent credit offered through Washburn University while taking certain courses here at Topeka High. As you can see, the perks of taking some of the classes offered here is that you can get not only high school credit, but also college credit. Some of the great things offered are half price tuition, This semester, sometimes the tuition fluctuates, but a course was offered for $411, which is about half price of what a actual college course is whenever you are a college student. There are certain requirements. They look at students who they accept students and want students that have a 3.0 GPA. And if you can maybe pull up some of the courses that are offered here at Topeka High that run concurrent with Washburn. So some of your students may actually already be in these classes, or maybe in a class next semester. This is something to be aware of. I have, at the beginning of the school year, it was kind of crazy, but I emailed all of the teachers. I went through every student that was in any of these classes. I emailed any parent contact that was in Power School, the student, and also made sure that the teachers reiterated constantly this opportunity because it's a great opportunity. These credits will transfer to most schools here in state and possibly any state or any school out of state if they go to college. They're pretty basic intro level courses. It's nice to have some credit that counts not only for high school but also for college under their belt as they leave the halls of Troy. If they are going to be taking college algebra, one thing to make sure you are aware of is they would like an ACT score of 22. If they are taking AP Stats, they would like a Math ACT score of 25. There will be more information sent out at the end of, probably the beginning of next year. They didn't get the deadlines to me yet. They're still working on getting everything to me for next semester. The year-long courses, they have already been paid for and done. You probably already are aware of those, but U.S. History 2, that's one that is a semester course. So more information will be coming down to me, hopefully at the end of this semester, beginning of next semester. College algebra is also a semester course that maybe they were taking this semester or next semester. Yes.
What class? What class? What class? What course is it? You want me to check?
And they enroll second semester in a year-long class.
So AP Lit Comp is a little bit of a special situation. You're able to actually earn 6 credit hours with that class. First semester, you're able to earn like the freshman comp credit, and then second semester, you can pay again and earn the intro to literature credit. So if you miss the deadline for first semester, you'll just miss out on the senior comp portion of it, but you will get 3 more credit hours for the introduction to literature course if you want to do that.
As far as stats and biology now.
Yes, AP Stats and AP Bio are just one. The only opportunity is for August, even though it's a full year class. Yes. There is an option, since it's already half price tuition, Washburn actually offers, we have a form called a provisional letter, and you can arrange payments with Washburn and make 3 payments rather than having to pay the whole $411. I'm not aware of any free tuition that is available. Yes. AP Physics does not, so these are the only courses that we offer that are concurrent credit. If you have any course that is available or that has AP at the front of it, so AP Physics is a really great example, you do have the opportunity of taking AP exams. That's also on our website. All of the AP testing is done in May, and the tests for that are $93, I believe. The schedule is up here. It gets pretty crazy in May if you're interested in taking these. It's nice because it's obviously a cheaper option to achieve some college credit. However, there are different stipulations for different schools. So for example, you might go to Washburn and they might say you need to get a 3 on AP US History. for it to transfer for college credit, but KU might say you need to have a score of a 4. So it's not a guaranteed, whereas the concurrent credit through Washburn, it will stay on your college transcript and transfer. Yes.
The AP class for 441 a class or 441 a credit hour.
That's
For the whole class, it's,
three.
yes, for 3 credit hours, yes.
So six credit hour class also 441.
No, it would be double.
Double.
Yes.
Okay.
Are we good? Okay, it's actually units in this. Which I was supposed to talk about testing, so perfect. So I kind of already, oh, sorry.
Brevemente, hay unas clases que pueden tomar, tienen los diplomas como la RUC, el registro vocacional de colegios. Clases de colegios pueden tomarlas con $400, 411, y al último van a tener unos exámenes en mayo. Esos exámenes cuestan $92, pero es para ver si te prepararon apropiadamente para que ganen ese crédito del colegio. So, las clases se están tomando aquí en Topeka High, pero son clases que te cuestan como si ya estuvieras en el colegio, te cuestan más adelante como si estuvieras en el colegio ya, justo antes de estar allá. Y tienes que tener GPA,
22.
para el ACT ese no examen, si todavía no lo toman, tienen que tener un 22, y si todavía no lo toman, todavía se pueden registrar, se registran a uno por tiempo, como el mes anterior, y toman el examen. Ese examen es para preparar los colegios están viendo o que tanto saben que mientras más alto el número, te comienzan a caer cartas desde para acá en el colegio que queremos, y este es el dinero que te vamos a dar, porque estás viendo que ahorita en la escuela estás haciendo buenas calificaciones, so es muy importante que tengan altas, they can take it as many times or higher.
For the AP exam? Or the ACT? Yes. Up to 6 times.
Pueden tomar el ACT 6 veces, y cada vez que sea mejor, se vaya aumentando, es mucho más mejor la calificación.
So, I am actually the testing coordinator here at Topeka High, and this is my first year doing that, so please bear with me if you have questions. All the information that I have for testing is on the Topeka High website. All of the dates for the tests, the links to register, the cost, all of that is on there. All of that you do online. None of that is done in our office. We do have some study materials for you. We have practice test booklets in the counseling center. We also have some practice tests available online on the website. Down below the link, and all of it just says click here, it's blue, click on it, it's going to take you to some free resources for you. Same thing with SAT. We give the SAT here in June only. If your student is interested and needs to take the SAT, we're more than willing to help them try to find a testing center here or near that might be able to provide that for them. Fee waivers is a question I get a lot. If you are curious about fee waivers, I encourage you to email me or call me, and I'm more than willing to kind of explain to you what the stipulations are for that. But I would be the contact person for that. So if you try to call them, they're going to send it to me anyways. As far as the work keys, all seniors are going to be taking the work keys on October 19th. The work keys is just a certificate that a student can take with them. If they're just going to go straight into the job force, just another certification they can present to say, yep, I'm ready, these are my credentials, and kind of what that shows for it. Everyone will take it, so don't try to not be here for it, because trust me, we will hunt you down to take it. You also have to take the work keys in order to attend Washburn Tech, so if you're interested in that, you can kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Regarding the ASVAB, if you or your child are interested in joining the military, you are welcome to come see me, and we will get you hooked up with our wonderful ROTC instructor, Mr. Gunnar Kelly, and he will give us all of the information that you might need for that. Questions? Yes. You do not. So I'm gonna say that and say it depends on colleges that you're going to attend. Typically in the Midwest, like in the middle of the country, they want ACT. But if you wanna go to like UCLA or you're out of here, you wanna be by the ocean, whatever, they're probably gonna want the SAT. So if you're already looking at colleges, I encourage you to go to their website and kind of see what testing are they wanting from me and make sure that you have that taken care of. Okay?
Hay exámenes que tienen que tener para que entren al colegio. Preguntó a la señorita que si tienen que tomar el SAT. Depende del colegio. Hay unos que sí lo piden, hay otros que no piden el ACT. Hay fee waivers, pero para eso es como no tienes que pagar para que te registres. Para si hay preguntas, tienen que hablar con la consejera y ella es la única que da esa información. Ella les puede dar más detalles cuando vengan a hablar con ella. Hay unos exámenes que si quieren hay cosas de militar. Hay un examen, si quieren ir cosas de militar, se llama ASET. Ellos los preparan. Aquí tienen a un señor que se llama Mr. Él es el que les dice que tienen que tomar para que tengan ese examen, para que se vayan a cualquiera de los brazos que quieren meterse. Y también es muy importante que estemos preparados con esos exámenes que tenemos que tomar.
Work keys?
Work keys es un examen que todos los que están en grado 12 vamos a tener que tomar, o todos ellos tienen que tomar, y si faltan los van a agarrar después. Es un examen como si no van al colegio, pero van a ir a trabajar. Dicen, aquí están las llaves, esto es lo que sé, este es mi conocimiento de todos mis maestros te enseñaron, y esto es algo que es recomendado para que ellos vayan a trabajar.
What's the next slide?
No. College funding is what we want to chat with you about next. There are multiple opportunities for you to get assistance for funding for college. One way would be the FAFSA, and Mrs. Locke chatted about that a little bit ago. We are going to be offering a financial aid night on October 5th from 6:30 to 8:30 at the public library here. The first hour is going to be a presentation where you'll just get some general information about what it is, the purpose, how you get started with it. The last hour, if you would like assistance, we will have reps from Washburn University there to actually help you go through the FAFSA process if you are interested in that. You do not have to by any means. They're just there as a resource for you. In addition to that, on October 20th, that would be the Thursday of parent-teacher conferences. We'll also have a college rep in the library here at Topeka High. So if you don't have your things ready on October 5th, you can bring those things and someone will provide you some assistance with the FAFSA up in the library. Also on that day, we want your kids to come and see us. We're going to provide an opportunity for them to, an opportunity for them to begin working on resumes and scholarships. So again, we're going to have a college rep here providing them from 9 to 10:30 resume writing. Students are able to come, they're going to give about a 30-minute presentation on the purpose, and then they're actually going to help your kiddo put together a resume for applying for scholarships. Then from 10:30 to noon, they're going to shift and go to scholarships. They're going to give a presentation. They're going to actually help your kiddo write a scholarship essay, and then hopefully, if time allows, we're going to actually have them apply for a scholarship. So they're getting walked through the process all on their own. That essay, we want to have them be able to walk away with it and then alter it for any other scholarships that they might be applying for. On our website, the tab, upcoming events, really catchy, has all of the flyers and informations for these two nights that I just mentioned, but also a variety of opportunities for you and your family to access in case you have other questions for those kinds of things.
Scholarships.
Oh, hold on, she's gonna go.
Brevemente, el 5 de octubre, si agarramos el papel de amarillo, ahí tienen la información. Van a tener información en la librería que tenemos aquí de Topeka, la librería de Topeka. Va a ser un miércoles de las 6:30 a 7:30. Va a ser presentación de 7:30 a 8:30 van a haber personas de Washington o de Washington que van a estar asistiéndonos cómo llenar los papeles de FAFSA. No estamos obligados, pero si gustamos, ellos nos van a estar ayudando ese día a cómo hacer todo el procedimiento. Y también el día 15 de octubre va a caer en un sábado de las 9 de la mañana a la mediodía. Aquí en la cafetería de la escuela nos van a estar dando información sobre colegios, orientándonos más información también. Y también el día 20 van a estar ayudándonos con la FAFSA. Queremos llenar becas y hacer un resumen de qué sabemos o cuando vamos a trabajar. Nos van a ayudar con todo eso. Son unas fechas muy importantes. Guárdenlos, pónganlos en sus calendarios para esas fechas.
Okay, so I think this is what topic I waited for when I was a senior parent sitting where you are, and that's scholarships. We take us to the senior tab of scholarships. We've tried to make this as easy for you to find as possible. So we're going to go to the senior tab. Again, I'm sure you're tired of hearing website. But if you can get to our website, you're going to find a lot of things that you won't have to go look other places for. So, under seniors, it isn't? Sorry, it's under scholarships and something else. Go back up.
Left hand side.
You gotta go on the drop.
Scholarships, 9 through 12 scholarship opportunities. Okay, so I'm kind of in charge of the scholarship situation. However, what I really want to tell you is you're in charge of your scholarship situation. It's vast. So I've tried to make this as easy as possible with a great deal of help from Ms. Bonshaw, who started this page last year. What I put up recently is what you see behind me. I went to every college in Kansas, basically every university and community college, and I put a link there that goes directly to their scholarship page. Click on it, you're there. So that's what that first section is. Then if you scroll down a little ways, we get made aware of different scholarship opportunities that are available. We post them. They're posted in order of month due. And then there are some, you'll see in the spring, just a whole bunch. Like the Topeka Community Foundation, you apply for those kind of in a big glob, and then you do little extra things depending on which things you're eligible for. You can see those as you get down into the spring. On most of these, you're able to click and get the application right there and fill it out, and it's just so much better than dealing with all the mail at home. But you have to be diligent. I'm almost reluctant to say this, but I want to say it in terms of just being frank and honest with you. I was always told, because I had kind of a smart kid, oh, you'll get lots of scholarships. Scholarships are hard to get, and they take time and energy to get. They usually don't fall in your lap unless you're one of those kids that just maxes out the ACT. Even a 4.0, I had one in my office who worked for us last year. She had difficulty getting scholarships, and she was at the very top of her class. So I just want you to understand, students especially, because really this rests on you, although as parents are kind of there nervously trying to prod you into applying for things because we have a financial interest in this. It is something that you have to work at, and you have to find time to work at it, and you have to be willing to work at it, and you have to be diligent. So we would encourage you to start now. There's a couple of ways you can do that. One, figure out where you'd like to go and narrow your college selection down, because it gets real crazy trying to apply for scholarships at 12 colleges. Secondly, there's some resources up here. One is a little tutorial on how to write a college essay. I think that's the one in that top tab. There's another option. Under scholarships, there should be another little tab there. Scholarship essays. It'll kind of take you through and give you some ideas. How do I write this? And it'll give you some clues on that. You know, there's some generic topics you can start working on now. There's some things they ask you. What is your contribution going to be to this world? What are your strengths, and how are you going to use those to better mankind? Those kinds of things are typical questions that are asked. You can go out and Google typical college essay questions. And I encourage you to have your student writing notes now. Write some. And then, when it comes up, you've got something to work with, and all you gotta do is sort of manipulate it a little bit, get the topic right, kind of add a few sentences and move a couple things around, and it's not near as much hard work. But I want you to know that it is work, and you do have to do that. Plus, you need to understand that most of your scholarship money will come from your university of choice. The outside scholarships are great, and every once in a while, we get somebody here, every year, we get 3 or 4 or 5 kids that get Gates Millennium Scholarships or something really big. But most of us are going to get scholarships by going through the university of our choice. And then we're going to add these as supplemental scholarships. If you have questions about that, please contact me again. I'm Mrs. Locke. And the last thing I will add is in that letter that you'll get after spring break, I'm going to be asking you to self-report out all the scholarships you've received, even if you don't plan to accept them. So if you were offered scholarships at 12 schools, I want to know about all of them, because we do keep a tally of how many scholarship offers we've had. And we liked it, class of 2017, do you want to be the top scholarship earning class? Yep. Do you? Are we sure about that? Because if you don't report it to me, I can't include it in the tally. And I might chase you down the hall if I think you have a scholarship you haven't told me about. I mean, I have been known to do that, but don't make me do that, because I'm getting old and my running shoes aren't as good as they used to be. So that's something else we'll be asking you to do. Okay? Questions on the scholarship situation? Okay?
Ahorita la website que nos estaban enseñando son donde podemos seguir para las becas y
Oh, sorry.
allí donde dice, en la mera esquina dice scholarships, en la mera esquina arriba, y cuando le imprimen, allí están los de grado 9, 10, 11 y 12 pueden comenzar a llenar las becas. No se limiten, no voy a ir a este colegio, no voy a llenar los becas. Escojan unos 4 o 5 colegios o vocacionales donde quieren ir, comiencen a llenar las becas. Muchas de las preguntas se dicen, ¿qué tú vas a dar para esta escuela si nosotros te aceptamos? Te damos el dinero. ¿Qué quieres hacer en la vida? Comenzar a escribir y necesitamos ayuda. Ahí están todos los colegios, ustedes escogen dónde van a ir, le cliquean y salen las becas, las aplicaciones. Ahora las aplicaciones están en computadora, ya no están en papel. Todos los alumnos y nosotros los padres tenemos que animarlos, que llenen las becas. La consejera quiere que si aplicas una beca y te la ganas, aunque sea poquito dinero o mucho, déjenle saber para ya ponerle un tally, o que esta persona se ganó esta beca para ver quién gana más becas, de qué año. Y arriba también está información, cómo se llena una beca, cómo se hacen los testes. Allí nos dan una orientación en cómo hacerlos. ¿Preguntas?
What's our next slide?
Transcripts.
Oh, transcript requests. This is an easy one. You're going to need your transcripts. Some of you are going to need them more than one time, and some of you are going to need them from 10 different places, okay? You come into our office, you address Mrs. Simon, who is our registrar and who is wonderful and who will do for you what you ask her politely to do. You just give her your name and where you would like to have your transcript sent, and she will take care of that. In addition, that's ones you need like now, from now until the end of the school year, because sometimes they need those because they're considering you for a scholarship, so they want to know if you're as smart as you say you are. We know you are. But also with that letter you'll get after spring break, we ask students to let us know where they would like to have their final transcript sent. We're hoping by April kids know that. And that's so that once grades are tabulated at the end of the school year, and it does take a little time for that to occur, and once our IT department has rolled everybody over and called them a graduate, because that's what your transcript needs to say, then Mrs. Simon will look at the little slip you sent her and say, okay, this is where I need to send Jamie's transcript, because this is where she told me to send it, and then it'll get done. And she will do it, and it will be done. I want to caution you that we have a lot of universities that will call you, they'll send you little things in the mail and say, we don't have Jamie's transcript yet. And I got 5 of those on my son, and I knew they had it because I personally sent it. So don't freak out. If you get one of those, you know, a nice phone call to Ms. Simon that says that they didn't get it, and she'll tell you, yes, I did send it, and I sent it on this day. And I assure you, if Teresa Simon tells you she sent it on a certain date, she sent it on a certain date. So we're thinking that somewhere it's log jammed at the university. But we'll assist you the best way we can. But students, we can't get it to the university that you want it to get to unless you tell us that. So that's very important. Other questions about transcripts? Yes? And you know what? I don't have the answer to that question right now. I just looked at them the other day. And I can, if you will email me, I can give those to you. They're in our previous graduation programs. The question is what are the cutoffs for superior honors, high honors, honors? And I just can't think of them right now. Does anybody in this room have that committed to memory? Feel free to click on one of us on the website and just ask that question, and all I got to do is look in last year's graduation program and I can get it out of there. Question?
We're talking about GPA. Our school is figuring GPAs right now.
GPAs are officially figured at semesters. So like any grade you see in Power School right now, it's just a work in progress. When semester comes and an official grade goes in, that's what's counted in the student's GPA. So semester grades are what make up your student's GPA. I hope I got that right, Ms. Warwick? Okay, got that right. Yay, I've been here 4 years, I got it right. Other questions? Okay, do we have any more slides or are we at Q&A?
We do.
Okay. Go ahead.
Lo que está diciendo de los transcripts, eso es donde todas las tareas, todos los exámenes, las clases que hemos tomado, allí nos dan el puntuaje, si agarramos crédito o no agarramos crédito. Nosotros ellos son, y los padres somos responsables a decirle a Miss Simon, a la secretaria de la consejería, dónde quieren que se le mande el transcript, a qué colegio, a qué universidad. Nomás hablen o manden un correo electrónico y ellos se lo van a mandar. Por casualidad agarran una carta diciendo, nosotros no hemos recibido el GPA, amablemente hablen a Miss Simon y digan, todavía dicen que no le han mandado, ella puede checar, te puede decir, la mandé tal fecha, pero se los vuelvo a mandar. No hay problema, si ustedes nomás hablan y necesitan para ver qué es la calificación, ahí viene toda la información, los grados de GPA, toda la información que los colegios ocupan para que sus hijos vayan al colegio o los escuelas que van a entrar.
Degree of personal interest. The big.
Go ahead.
Well, we have
Just-
one left, one thing left.
Just let me say a couple sentences, and then we'll move on. So, you know, Deb and I are the personal social counselors. We're here for personal issues and referrals to community services if you need help with that. This is a transitioning time for you and your kid and your family. If you have special supports in place, you might think about planning for those transition times, and those are things we can help with if you want to talk to us. It's a stressful time. We have a senior in our house, and we're not sending out the announcements till we know she's off the might fail list. So I know it's an exciting time, it's also stressful, and it helps to be organized and to have good communication. So, you know, if you have regular family meetings, that can be a helpful thing. If you don't, you might think about how you're going to organize those things and just try to keep on top of that. So I think now we're ready for Q&A.
Lo que nos está diciendo Mr. Bauken es que muchas veces nuestros alumnos quieren detener las invitaciones para la graduación porque no pasaron, ellos tienen un niño en su casa, su señora ayer, y están deteniendo porque dice la familia, no se va a recibir, y si no se recibe porque reprobó una clase u otra, si ellos tienen problemas difíciles, pueden ellos hablar, la señora Mr. Bauken y Mrs. Bauken están aquí para ayudarles, ellos trabajan con los con comunidades fuera de la escuela también.
Answer the questions 35375 and 4012. 35375.
Who wants to stay for questions and answers? Just grab one of those.
Okay, we have a question in the back real quick.
Can you repeat the question?
Yes. She's asking if on October 17th, is that the right date? There is an ACT prep thing that will be going on here at Topeka High. It does cost $40 if your student would be interested in that. We have a flyer. It's a lady from Manhattan that comes into the school and she will do some ACT prep for you during the school day. Sorry, I'll talk louder. On the 17th, we do have a lady from Manhattan that comes in and can work with some students on the ACT. She does charge $40 for that. We have a flyer for that in the counseling center, and it may be up on our website on that.
They can also access, students can also access free ACT prep at number2.com. So if you want an interactive online free ACT prep, you can try that if $40 isn't something that you're wanting to put out right now. So that might be a place to start. Number2.com.
Number2.com, and
Like
that will
number two
be an
pencil.
activity that we're shooting through Trojan Time for the seniors. They just don't know about that yet. So that'll be coming up for them. on that.
Number spelled out or N-O?
It's number, and then spell out the word number, and then
Word
two.
number2.com.
Like a number 2 pencil.
Right, and we can try to get that up on our website also.
Is there a deadline to sign up for the 17th?
I'm not sure about that. We'll put it on our website tomorrow so then you can just access the flyer there. We have the flyer, but we're not organizing that situation, so I'm sorry, I don't know that. Thank you. She said the deadline was last Friday, but there is a late fee. If you want to pay that, you can go ahead and get signed up. Thank you. We have the flyer, but we are not in charge of that activity. Oh, it says on the flyer to Ms. Ribbon in room 303, it's her office. She's the one who's organizing this. Okay, if there aren't any more questions, we want to thank you very, very much for coming. It is kind of overwhelming, there's just a ton of stuff. But please access our website, give us a call or an email if you have any questions. Thank you so much. Kevin, the individual questions will be up front here.